welcome back to my channel. My name is Devonna if you're new, and y'all know if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in. Okay, you guys, so I told you I was gonna be more consistent, so here I am back with another video. I've been getting quite a few questions lately as far as like, I looked at your old pictures. I really don't think that you needed the surgery. What made you get the surgery? And have I been dealing with weight loss? Struggling with my weight, I should say, my whole life, things of that nature. So I figured why not do a whole video on it just to answer a lot of the questions that I've been getting, and give a little insight to my life. I talked about it a little bit in like my first video that I made, but I figured why not dig a little bit deeper, kind of explain, my whole weight loss journey, bringing it all the way back and things of that nature. So if you would like to hear more, I would love for you to stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so if you don't know, I did have VSG surgery October 21st of 2021. My highest weight was 250 pounds. My weight day of surgery was 239 pounds. And as of today, I am 162 pounds. Now, just wanted to give my stats for reference. So let me start off. I'm 5'3", by the way, so I am pretty petite, and I do think that I have a pretty petite frame. So no, I have technically not struggled with weight my entire life. Growing up, I was very, very tiny. I was always considered being very tiny, very small. And then as I got older, I was always pretty little. I think where weight was very relevant to me, where it was very apparent, I should say, for me in my life, was once I got to middle school. So I would say more around 7th grade is where I started to notice my weight being different from other people's. Now, as I look back on it now, I was tiny. I was little. Like, I think in 7th grade, I was wearing a size 5. Maybe even a size 3, I don't really know, but I was little. I wasn't big. But sometimes when you compare yourself to what you see around you, you start questioning yourself, you start questioning things. And I was always super active, you guys. I have either done dance or cheerleading my entire life. I was always active, always a part of things. So I've always been very, very fit. But I think that's when I started struggling with my weight, or feeling self-conscious about my weight, was about middle school. Just looking at people that are smaller than me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just feel so big. Or even the girls that I would hang out with, I'd be like, they're smaller than me. Or see other people in my classroom, like, oh my gosh, they're smaller than me. And then I honestly did get bullied a little bit. I don't even know if people around me knew that, but mainly boys would tease me about my weight. And I don't know if that was because they liked me or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I used to get talked about a little bit, but I was very average size. Even a lot of the girls that I even hung out with, we were either the same size or I was a little smaller. So that's where it started. I kind of got more self-conscious. And then as time went on, getting older, around 9th grade, I lost a lot of weight. And I got down pretty small, but then high school for me was a range of weight. Now, granted, I still feel like looking back at pictures, and if I do have some pictures, I will insert them. I will say I did not take lots of pictures. I was always pretty self-conscious about the way I looked. I never wanted to take full body pictures. I never really felt comfortable in the skin that I was in. And I do feel like I faced a lot of, not like a really big amount, like it wasn't too detrimental to my life or anything, but I did face people talking about me and talking about the way that I looked and just comparing me to other people around me. Maybe they were more curvier than me or taller than me, so they look skinnier. Or I even feel like girls being jealous of how I look, so they talk down on you, now that I look at it now. Anyways, with that being said, so I was very self-conscious about my weight, so I didn't take many pictures, but I would try to insert pictures from, I have a few from middle school up until now, so you can kind of see like my weight change and things of that nature. So as I am an adult, I am more aware of my weight. So when I was around like 17, 18, I'm more aware of my weight. I'm kind of getting more into the weight loss thing, knowing that I want to get smaller and things of that nature. Around 2014, I do start going on a more weight loss journey. And I lost a decent amount of weight. Honestly, I got down to the 160s, crazy enough, where I am now. And I was really comfortable there, but I know I still wanted to be smaller. But I was really comfortable in my skin. I was living in Atlanta and I was feeling really happy about the way I looked because I was slightly curvy. I've never been a thick girl, been pretty much straight up and down, but I felt really good. I was wearing crop tops, things like that. And if you knew me, that was way out of my comfort zone. So in end of 2014, going on 2015, I got pregnant. I was 21, had my first kid. That's a whole nother story in itself. But anyways, I had a lot of complications. And I gained a lot of weight because I had gestational diabetes. And so I got really, really big with my first pregnancy. I started off at 163 pounds and I got up to 248 pounds during my pregnancy. So yes, it was very, very, very dramatic. Pretty much what my cold weight loss is now, almost 80 something pounds. So yeah, that was very detrimental to me. And then I having to get a C-section and an emergency C-section at that. It was just a lot. My body went through a lot. And that was the start of me being a lot bigger. From there, it was just really, really hard for me to get my weight off. I would try so hard to do everything. I did, oh my gosh, y'all, I loved me a military diet. I loved me some damn military diet. I would go look it up because it was very, very short, very simple, but at most I would lose 6 pounds. And let's be real, doing those quick fad types of diets, you're losing what, water weight? It never stuck. I think about a couple years in, so around 2017-ish, I did lose a lot of weight. I had gotten down to 180, and I felt really good, but all of that weight was me doing fad diets. I think at the time I was doing keto, and that's what made me get the weight off. But then once I started dabbing into more foods that I really liked and stepping out of keto, which most people, if you have been on keto, when you do not follow those strict rules anymore, you put that weight on even faster. So wasn't 180 for long. That went up to 190 and so on and so on. Now, for the longest, the biggest I was, where I stayed, was around 215 to 220 pounds. That was where I was at. That's just how it was. I got down a little bit. Fast forward a couple more years, I had my second son in 2018. Ended up having to have another C-section. It was not emergency, but it was still another C-section. For me and my body, it messes up my stomach. Your stomach is not the same for me and my body. Now, I've seen women get C-sections and their bodies look like they had no type of surgery. Not for me. It makes your stomach sit weird. It makes your fupa, apron, whatever people want to call it, look a lot different. And I feel like it makes your belly sag a little more. So yeah, 2018, I had my second son. And after surgery, after having him, I shouldn't say after surgery, I was 226 pounds. Now, I started dating someone, and a little bit down the line, once that happened, I was still eating and things, but once we officially broke up and I'm trying to move on, you know how it be like, oh, I'm finna get my body right. I'm finna start looking good. Fuck him. Excuse me. I shouldn't be cussing. Excuse me. But, you start to get to the point you're like, okay, it's time for me to get it right. So I did. And I got down to 192 pounds. I felt so good. I do have a few pictures of me looking that way. And it's crazy how your body looks, your weight loss looks different at different time periods. Because the way I looked with 160 back before I had my son, I don't look the same now. And so it's so crazy the way your body will lose weight at different times depending on what you do and things of that nature. Okay, so got down to 192, was feeling really, really good. Stayed at that for a while. I think I got up to 200 again. But I felt really good. I had done a really amazing job. My transformation was great. But again, I didn't have a real regimen. I didn't stick to a certain type of diet. I didn't try to learn to have better, healthier eating habits. So then a lot of things happened and I put the weight back on. And then the weight just kept coming on and kept coming on. And I knew I was getting bigger. Like, I kept saying, like, oh, I need to lose weight. Like, I've always said that as I got older, you know, especially after having kids. I'm like, oh, I gotta lose this weight. I gotta lose this weight. And I'm getting bigger and I'm getting bigger. Starting to get on the scale, like, oh my gosh, okay. Now I'm back in the 220s. Shit, okay. Now I'm in the 230s. Crap, okay. Now I got on the scale, I'm in the 240s. What the hell? And that point, I was like, okay, tell my friend, like, look, I promise you, like, if I get to 250, I don't know why that number was the number that I was like, I can't get no bigger than that. Why that was gonna be my breaking point number, even though I had already gotten so big. I was like, if I get to 250, it's over with. I need to get extra help. Like, I need to figure this out because 250 is just huge. And like, going back to me saying, like, I knew I was getting big, you guys, but even now, or even in the process of me getting the weight loss surgery, until I looked back on those pictures, I did not see how big I was. And oh my gosh, I did not think I was gonna get emotional, but you guys don't even realize, like, I wish I would have loved myself more growing up to realize, like, baby, you weren't big, and really cared more about taking care of my health and being up more on, as I got into being an adult, being more active and all of that. But mainly, like I said, loving myself then and not letting others tear me down, because I have always been beautiful. Don't get me wrong, because you will get that. People feel like just because you were bigger, you think you weren't beautiful. I've always been very beautiful. I am so blessed and very thankful to have a beautiful face. I was never ugly while I was big. I was just big. Like, and my big was I swelled up, whatever. I had a lot of inflammation. When I get bigger, my weight goes to my face and to my stomach. I got little chicken legs, baby. Yes, they get bigger, don't get me wrong, but my legs are always smaller in slight proportion to the rest of my body. It's usually my stomach and my face. And you could see that so much in pictures. And I got to that weight, and then I started having other things going on. And I'm like, I just feel off. Something doesn't feel right. I'm at work, and I was working with kids at the time, as well as doing delivery driving. And you guys, the way I was out of breath was ridiculous. It would be a flight of like maybe 8 stairs, and I would walk up the stairs and I would literally feel like I'm about to have an asthma attack. And let's talk about that. I do have asthma, but for the most part of my life, my asthma was considered undetectable, which means that, you know, if they were to do tests, you couldn't see it. But if I was like very, very active, or like my heart rate is very, very high, if I'm doing something, then I might need my asthma pump. But that wasn't a thing when I was smaller. It only became a thing when I was bigger. And it was a thing when I was younger, just because I didn't know how to control my asthma and control my breathing. Once I learned that, literally in my entire life, it had been undetectable until I got big again. I always kept an asthma pump on me as a just in case. But being heavier, I literally, like, I'm not like over exaggerating. I am keeping it 100 with you guys. I will walk up those flights. I remember the steps at my job. It was literally 8 steps. And I would walk up them steps, you guys. And yes, they were wider steps, but that don't matter. They was 8 steps. And I would literally feel like I was going to die. I would be breaking a sweat. I would feel freaking huge. All my clothes, I would feel like I was busting out of them. And for the most part, you're not catching me ordering. Like, I wasn't buying 2Xs. I was getting oversized extra larges and men's larges to make me feel better. I would not go and buy a 2X, which I was probably in. Or even jeans. I just didn't even wear jeans because I was probably in a 20. I'm pretty sure I was probably in a size 20. To even say that out loud, I feel disgusting, and I shouldn't. It's just for me on my petite body, for what I'm used to looking like. And it just wasn't for me. I wasn't supposed to be the plus size girl. It wasn't made for my body. And then my body would be unproportioned, like I said. Mainly it would go to my stomach, and I hated that. I wanted to love me. I wanted to feel good in my body. Now, what really got me as well was I sprained, and I've talked about this before, but I sprained my ankle by doing absolutely nothing, by walking. But being too damn big, it was too much pressure on my little ass ankle that I literally sprained my ankle from being too big. Like, that is absolutely freaking embarrassing. People be like, oh my gosh, what happened to your ankle? Are you okay? No, I'm just fat. Like, I'm not even talking about myself. I was just big. I was just too big for me. It was just, my weight was too much. And then I always felt too, I was like, something else is wrong. Like, something is wrong with me. And diabetes runs very heavily in my family. And one of my cousins had died during the pandemic because he had went into a diabetic coma. And you guys, he didn't even know he had diabetes. Like, that shit scared the hell out of me. Absolutely terrifying. And hearing that and seeing all of my complications, I said, I know it. I have diabetes. I wasn't even trying to wish that on myself. I just knew that something was wrong. And so I finally did it. I made an appointment with my primary. Let me pause here. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of all over the board, but this is kind of like near and dear to my heart. And I kind of want people to understand my journey, my story, because it wasn't just a quick decision that I made overnight. And my weight loss and my journey wasn't just overnight either. And it's not technically something I dealt with forever. I wasn't big all my life. It really mainly happened as I became an adult and started to let my eating get out of control and my metabolism was slowing down. And then letting it get even overboard after having kids and blaming it on having kids. Oh, at least I had kids. I got big because I got kids. No, get your life together, honey. That's what it is. Anyways, a girl that I knew in my city where I was from, she had got weight loss surgery. And I don't know how far along she was in her journey at this point, but she had lost so much weight. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I had been seeing people getting the surgery and have been like looking up and researching different things. And I, thought about weight loss surgery, but I just was like, I don't know. And like one of my aunts, she had gastric bypass before. So I know you could be successful on it, but I was still slightly hesitant. And I seen the girl and we weren't even close. I don't even know if she knew me from school or anything like that, but I inboxed her, just asked her some questions, told her I was thinking about it, blah, blah, blah. She was like, girl, do it. Like, it'll be the best thing you ever done. She like told me like any questions that you have, please, 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 come to me. I'll help you out in whatever way possible. I was like, okay, perfect. So anyways, I set up the appointment with my primary. And I, first of all, say, I think I have diabetes. Here's what's been going on. Plus, I didn't know before, I have, my neck was darker. And my neck was pretty dark for my skin tone. And I'm like, I've tried so many things. I don't know if I need to see a dermatologist or whatever. And she was like, well, it could be related to diabetes, which you think you have anyway. So let's just test you for it. And then I just told her flat out, like, I'm big. I know I want the weight loss surgery at this point. I told her, like, I've tried everything. And you guys, I have literally tried everything. And even tried to do starvation, but I'm just not one of those girls that can starve myself. I have done the water diet. I have done, like I told you, the military diet. I have done liquid fast before. I have done Atkins. I did the Weight Watchers and then did WW when they changed their name. Like any diet that you can find online, on YouTube, anywhere, I tried it. I tried signing up for this gym and that gym and getting a trainer and all of this, you guys. Like, it did not work. I needed help. I would even try going back to like keto again and then absolutely lose no weight. I was like, okay, at this point, I know I need help because I am trying my hardest and nothing is working. So I go to the doctor, I tell her all this stuff. She was like, okay, yeah, I think you'll be good candidate for it. She sent in a referral to the weight management department, and she'd let me know like the way it works is they'll give you a call, set up an appointment, and go from there. So they reached out to me. It didn't take long. And they're like, you know, let me know. They talked to me. Hey, why are you considering this? Blah, blah, blah. And I told them, they were like, okay, you know, well, I think you'd be a good candidate. We're going to send you over some paperwork to fill out, send it back to us. And then they set up my next appointment to like talk about the process and go over my paperwork. They sent me the paperwork. I filled it out, sent it back in. The paperwork was pretty much asking, you know, all of your health history. And then it asked you like different type of diets you've tried. When you've tried them, they kind of wanted you to get pretty specific, excuse me. And then I shouldn't say thankfully, but thankfully I did have diabetes. So I was very, very low on the chart. I was technically like a pre-diabetic. My numbers weren't crazy high because I did catch it pretty fast. I just knew something was off of my body. So I caught it pretty fast, but that helped my chances of getting the surgery because per my insurance, they kind of want you to have, you need to be considered eligible on 2 different requirements. So that was your BMI, which I believe my BMI was a 44. And then they wanted you to also have like underlying health conditions, which having my diabetes was one of those things. So I talked to them, talked over things. You know, they want to make sure that you're really serious about it. And I was like, when I have my mindset on something, I'm doing it. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter if I've already said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And that's that. And I knew I wanted to get this surgery. I knew which surgery I wanted. I knew I didn't want the bypass. I knew I specifically wanted the sleeve because bypass, they just, I shouldn't say it like this. You can do your research, but they cut your stomach in half and they reroute the way your stomach goes to your intestines and blah, blah, blah. I said, no, 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 no. Take it out. Only way you're going to get it taken out is if you get the sleeve. The sleeve, they take out 80% of your stomach. That's what I want y'all to do. I don't want it sitting somewhere else. I don't want it inside of my body. I want it absolutely gone. And worst case scenario, if I ever did need a revision, you can get a revision to bypass. Bypass, there ain't no revising your stomach there. I don't know what they do. I don't know what you do if the surgery didn't ever work out for you. But if the sleeve doesn't ever work out for me the way I wanted it to, I could get bypass. So the requirements for me was you have to do 6 months of a plan, and then you have to meet with a psychiatrist. And then you have to, for me personally, they wanted me to get a sleep test to see if I had sleep apnea. Because as getting bigger, I did start to snore. And I think I knew a little bit that I snored, but I did not know. And as far as I had very, very heavy daytime sleepiness, like the feeling of you being extremely exhausted would be me, and it would hit me midday. I would literally feel like I could just, if I closed my eyes at any point, I would literally be able to go into a deep sleep. And that was really bad, especially because at that point I was full-time doing delivery driving. So it was quite a problem. Those are all the requirements that I had to do. The way it was set up is for 6 months, I would have to meet with a nutritionist and dietitian. So it was every other month with the other. So like January, nutritionist, February, dietitian, and so forth and so on. They get me scheduled and I get ready to go and I get my surgery. I think the biggest thing for me was, so I never had like anybody specifically tell me like, oh, it was the easy way out. I heard so many people talk about that. No one said that to me. But crazy enough, at the hospital, I had a lot of, not even nurses that were my nurses, just like people that would help in between, like one of the ladies that wheeled me out and another lady that I think she was more of like housekeeping at the hospital, and she came in to like change something out, and both of them pretty much told me like, oh, I don't know why you would need the surgery, like, you know, you don't look big or something like that. And it's just irritating. First of all, whatever you feel towards somebody, keep your opinions to yourself. Like, I had literally just got a surgery done that already took my stomach out. I don't need to hear that from you. Plus, it's my body. It's my life. Whatever makes me happy is what makes me happy. The way I want to look is the way I want to look. I made this decision for me. because I wanted to do it, because I wanted to be healthy. I didn't want to have health complications and all of this extra stuff. I didn't want to have to walk around and literally sprain my ankle for being too big. I wanted to look in the mirror and like what I seen. I didn't want to feel that way. And I love dressing up, like not even dressing up to go out, like putting on clothes. I love fashion. I love sneakers and clothes. Like anybody that knows me, I'm always shopping. I'm always buying clothes and shoes and bags. Like, you guys, I absolutely love it. I love to put some stuff on. And when you see me, like, I look nice. I've always been that person. But it doesn't make you feel good to buy these things and put them on when you can't fit them, or you don't look good in them because your belly's sticking out here, your back row sticking out here, you feel insecure, you don't have that confidence factor. So it just knocks you down. I wanted to love me. I wanted to feel better in every other way. I wanted to be able to run around with my kids. I wanted to shoot. I wanted to be able to walk up a flight of stairs and not feel like I was dying. Like, it was so much. And like, because I struggled so much in my life with just giving myself the love that I needed to feel confident in any shape that I was in, I knew that this surgery would be able to help me get to that point. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And till this day, getting this surgery was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Even now, you guys, like, I am building up my confidence so much. I even walk past my closet. So my closet is like, the doors are mirrors. And every time I walk by, I just be looking at myself like, damn, girl, you look good. And just getting out of my comfort zone, buying things that I normally wouldn't buy, even like bra and panty sets. You guys, this might be TMI, but I never used to wear thongs because I felt like I didn't want to have to put that thong over my belly, or my belly would be falling out the sides and whatever. It just didn't look cute to me. But now I like wearing thongs. I think they look so good. They're actually super comfortable and make my butt look nice. It's just crazy how your body can change, how you can start to love yourself and love how things look on you, and you're buying things that you would have never even thought that you would buy. And I realized the biggest thing in this whole entire journey from when I was younger up until now and even going forward is love yourself. If only I loved myself throughout all of this, I might have not got, so big. I might have not just felt so bad and cared so much about what else other people had to say. Like, I look back now and I do, like, a lot of those people were just possibly even jealous of how I looked because I wasn't big. It wasn't anything like that. I wasn't big up until after I was an adult and had kids. Like, other than that, I was never a big person. No, I wasn't as skinny as maybe the person next to me, but that didn't mean that I wasn't looking good the way I was. And if I would have never let that affect me, I would have been so much farther. And so what I am telling you now, and I am making sure that I have, and for me to exude my confidence, is I'm gonna love me always. You can't tell me I'm not a 10. You can't tell me I ain't bad. Like, baby, I don't need it from anybody else because I know it, because I believe it. And even those little times where I can't, I try to wake up earlier in the morning to put myself together, to make sure that even when I work from home, I am putting on a cuter fit, so that when I go to my desk or I walk past my mirrors, I'm like, oh, you look good. Like, I look nice. I look presentable. Yes, you're going to feel bad about yourself if, you're not looking your best, you're not trying to, or, when you're running errands. Take that extra 5 minutes and put on an outfit. Start buying those matching sets so that it's easier for you to get yourself together. I used to wonder so much, like, man, even girls that were bigger than me, like, she's so much bigger than me. She don't care. She wearing what she want to wear. She's doing this. How does she have this confidence? She loved herself and didn't give a damn about anybody else. And I promise you, once you learn that and you master that, baby, it's over with. Like, it's over with. And I ain't 100% there, but baby, I'm damn near 80% there. And once I hit my full 100%, you ain't gonna be able to tell me absolutely anything at all. And even now, I promise you, I know I'm the shit. You can't tell me nothing. And it's not even being cocky. It's not being any of that. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just know that for me, I am perfect. I am beautiful. I am absolutely amazing, and I'm going to give off that energy and give off that confidence no matter what. So I know that was a mouthful, but I just wanted to give my story, my backstory, I should say, and give a little bit more into my journey and how I got to where I'm at, how I'm doing, and how you can do. I hope this video was helpful to somebody and that you can take and learn something from it. You guys, thank you so much for all the support and love that I've been receiving. Please don't hesitate to keep continuing to inbox me and comment down below questions, concerns, anything that you might have. I am an open book, like I always say. I love to be able to interact with you guys. I love the support that you give me. Like, I wouldn't be here without your love and support, and I'm continuing to grow, and I love that. I'm hoping that I'm able to keep reaching more and more people, and you guys are actually helping me as well to keep stepping out of my comfort zone, to keep sharing my story, to keep putting out these videos, because I love hearing that I helped you, or I inspired you to do something. Like, that makes me feel so good. That's the reason why I started making these videos and sharing so much, and starting up more content in the first place. So you guys, thanks so much again for tuning into my video. I will definitely be coming with more. I will not go MIA on you guys anytime soon, at least. And I will see you guys in my next video.